Bordeaux, a modern city with traditional Southern values.
It may have traditional Southern values, but it also has whiskey, cigars, clubs, and gangsters. But what's the real city behind this in-game interpretation really like? The answer is in the same city that you'll find the House of the Rising Sun.
And here I am in that very city, New Orleans. And me and Dave here are going to take you on a whistle-stop tour around that beautiful place.
We're going to ride paddle steamers, we'll fight some alligators, and we'll learn all about the real-life crime history behind the game.
Wait, hang on. We're doing what?
Fight alligators.
Not for me.
Looks like I'm doing that then.
Keeping away from the Gators for now, don't worry, Dave will meet them later, let's talk about the districts in the game. There's the Bayou to the south, Delray Hollow, where Lincoln grew up, River Run, which is where you'll find a lot of the docking activities, and of course there's the French Ward, which is perhaps the most recognisable part of the real-life New Orleans.
And it's in that very district you'll find a mission featuring a boat very much like this one. This has been taking people up and down the river here for years, but the Mafia 3 version that you're looking at right now might not be doing the same after you're done with it.
And that's because the French Ward is home to this guy. He's Uncle Lou, and he's holding a little fundraiser on our in-game equivalent of this paddle boat. Lincoln uses this to send a message to Sal, one of the game's big bads, and causes the boat to have a little accident.
We hit something! Ain't nothing for you to worry about. Let's get you upstairs.
After the crash, Lincoln tracks down Lou and deals with him. But there are also other ways to kill enemies in the game, especially down in the bayou.
And of course, that's where you'll find the Gators. Which, how believable is that really? Could they really be this close, just outside the city limits? We've come to Timken National Park to find out, and probably punch a few of them in the face as well.
No punching, Dave.
Fine, don't blame me when one of them takes your leg off later. Top line, yes, there are Gators. Oh, in fact, so many Gators. Like Gatorpalooza, Gatorgeddon. But the thing is, the ones we saw aren't actually much like the cinematic version you probably imagine. They're generally a lot smaller, not very aggressive towards humans at all unless threatened, and we actually spent the whole day feeding them marshmallows. Yes, marshmallows, they love them. Conversely, the Mafia version is a lot bigger, a lot badder, and a lot more useful. The really exciting thing is that every Gator has autonomous AI. They operate on their own instinctively, they'll react to things, they'll respond to what you do, or what anyone else does, and generally they are entirely their own beasts. Example? At one point during an early mission in the Bayou, I knocked a guy out, well, knocked him out with a knife in the throat, and accidentally knocked him off a jetty into the swamp. I walked away, 10 or 15 seconds later, heard a huge angry thrash in the water, and that body was gone. Want to get in on some of that scaly big-toothed action? Yes, of course you do. In that case, you want to be heading down to the Bayou area of the map. You'll spot it straight away. It's down in the south where the buildings stop and the water and the trees start. It's one of the biggest areas in the game, apparently, and also one of the most explorable and secret-packed.
Being a game that's a bit about revenge and putting things right, doing a crime is obviously going to play a part in the story.
And that's where the last part of our New Orleans tour takes us. Just how connected is this city to the Mafia and its shady underworld?
That's a very good question, Dave. We should find that out.
Don't worry, already have, with the help of a guy named Frank. Frank took us for a walking tour around the French Quarter and filled us in on a lot of what's really happened in New Orleans over the last 100 or so years. How close is Mafia 3's gory version of history? Disturbingly close, as it turns out.
Contrary to popular belief, the Sicilian Mafia got its start in the United States right here in New Orleans.
Aw, I miss Frank. And while it's not the Sicilian Mafia in the game, it is really about starting your own crime family from scratch. You have the three underbosses in Cassandra, Vito from Mafia 2, and Burke, who will run districts for you once you decide who to assign to which ward. Give too much to just one person though, and the others won't like it, and might even turn on you altogether.
The next time I see your black hide, it will be at the end of my goddamn gun.
So that's a quick tour of the city that inspired Mafia 3's New Bordeaux.
And if you have any other questions about the game, or maybe even about New Orleans itself,
We are experts now.
we are, then make sure you ask us in the comments below.
And don't forget to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on GamesRadar Plus.